86, it's time to build.
Get to our next submission.
What's good, Insomniac Magazine? This is 3-5, representing that 1986. I'm originally from Atlanta, but at the moment I reside in Washington, D.C. My hip-hop inspiration was my older brother. He had a stereo set back when I was growing up that played a lot of early 90s classics, so thanks to that I was exposed to the culture from very early. What makes my brand and music distinctive, I would say, is simply how it sounds. The pattern or the cadence I use as an MC is different from all others, and I'm not afraid to be proud of that difference. Something unique I've done to help spread my reach would be the utilization of a website called Repost Exchange, which has helped me increase my followers and engagement on SoundCloud, and it's also taught me to be consistent with my promotions towards certain songs more than others. Listeners can find me at soundcloud.com, IAMThreeFive, both numbers spelled out, or IAMThreeFive.com. Peace.
All right, 3-5, I want to thank you for that submission. You made some great points. Specifically, I love the fact that you talked a little bit about your early inspirations coming from the stereo that your brother had. I think in so many ways, there is a lot of value in understanding, and I've talked about this so many times, there's a lot of value in understanding and appreciating what's come before you. Because if you could understand and you could be aware of the genius of why certain artists succeeded previously, you might be able to apply that to your career. You know, and one of the things that you mentioned had to do with delivery and cadence, and even maybe the sound of your voice. I think that is so important in hip hop, right? I mean, anybody could rap, right? What makes you different from everyone else beyond the lyrical content and the music is also how you deliver it, how you sound, the tonality. And there's so much to get from artists that have come before you, that have really broken those barriers, that have not only stood the test of time, but also found ways to break apart from the masses. There's some names that come up time and time again, but also keep in mind that there is a rich history in this genre, and there are artists out there that you maybe have never heard of before that could provide all types of insight into what you might want to do creatively and sound-wise with your career if you know about them, right? You have artists like Saphir, A$AP Rock. I mean, these artists had very distinctive voices and also unique flows. ODB, right? Slick Rick, Rakim. Even more recently, West Side Gun, right? The distinct nature of his voice, that high-pitched delivery. DMX's gravelly voice, right? Just in the previous episode of the podcast, we had Chuck D. I mean, is there a more commanding voice in hip hop than that of Chuck D's, right? There's no one that sounds like Chuck. After all these years, there hasn't been anyone that has come into the game that sounds like him. Nobody's going to confuse his voice with anyone else. So I highly recommend that you go back and you not only become exposed and learn about maybe some of the names that come up time and time again, but some of those names that you really have to dig for could in some ways provide the most value as far as insight into what you might do to separate yourself from the masses. I'm not saying to copy what they're doing. I'm just saying to understand what made them distinct and then see how you could maybe take some of those lessons and apply it to what it is that you do. So I want to thank 3-5 for his contribution. I also want to thank him for the recommendation of that tool, Repost Exchange. I have no doubt there are going to be some folks that are going to check that out to help them spread the word about what they have going on. As always, if you're not subscribed, be sure to do so on your favorite app. Check us out on InsomniacMagazine.com and, of course, on Twitter, on Instagram at InsomMag since 96. InsomMag since 96. And if you forget all that, then just check us out at inhiphop.com, right? And spread the word. It's only been, like a quarter century? All right, till next time. Peace.